what's up guys? This is Joe14, director, editor, and producer of the Legend of Maxx video series, as well as the voice of Cyril the Guide, and I am here with...
Your favorite Takeshi dude. I'm the assistant director of the Legend of Maxx video series, as well as the voice of Max.
Hey, I'm Pirate Jenna, and I'm the voice of Hannah the Nurse, as well as a few minor characters like the Fairy and Ailey's Dream in Episode 3.
I'm LJ from the TTV Podcast, and I'm the voice of Ailey the Ale Fairy, as well as the majority of the male minor cast like the zombies and skeletons.
Hi, my name is Fox, and I am the voice of Remiel the Angel.
And I'm Jesse McMinn, and I'm the author of The Legend of Maxx.
And we are here today to bring you a special behind-the-scenes episode of the Legend of Maxx video series. Hey guys, I am here with Takeshi Dude, the voice of Max in the Legend of Maxx video series, the main man, and yeah, I have some questions for him.
Woo.
So, first up, I have, what's it like being part of the Legend of Maxx video series group?
It's pretty fun. I've never done anything even close to similar to this, so it's a very new experience, and it's extremely entertaining.
What's it like working with the other members of the cast?
Since it's the early comic, I've mainly just worked with you and my sister some, so that's a little less than what I was expecting, but it's still... Again, I've never done anything similar or done really anything with someone else over the internet, so this is a very new experience, but it's very fun. Everyone here is just totally awesome and really fits the characters.
When and what got you into doing voice acting?
This did. I saw Jesse had retweeted, I think, your tweet with your email asking for people to join, and I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. And I sent you an email, and then I auditioned, and it happened, and here I am now.
What do you think of the character you play?
Max is undoubtedly the coolest character in the whole comic. He is just so entertaining, all the just stupid stuff he says, and just how positively he looks on even like the Eater of Worlds and everything, and it is just so much fun.
What do you think of the Legend of Maxx Webcomic series?
I've been reading the comic since just before Comic 200 came out, and I have loved it since then. I actually found it because Reed Digit retweeted one of Jesse's comic tweets.
Alright. Hello everybody, I am Joe14 and I am here with Pirate Jenna, the voice of Hannah the Nurse, as well as a few minor characters in the Legend of Maxx video series, and I have some questions for her. First off, what is it like being a part of the Legend of Maxx video series group?
It's pretty cool. It's fun to do the recordings for stuff. I like doing it.
What's it like working with the other cast members?
It's fun to get to read through the lines with other people, and it's more amusing to do it all together instead of just, I don't know, doing it by myself, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Number 3, when and what got you into doing voice acting?
This was the first voice acting I did. I used to do acting in a theater when I was little, which is kind of why I was interested in trying out for this.
What do you think of the character or characters that you play?
I like Hannah. I think she really might be one of my favorite characters in the comic, so it's cool that I get to voice her.
What do you think of the Legend of Maxx webcomic series?
I think it's a cool comic. It's fun to read, and I enjoy it.
Hey guys, I am here with LJ, the voice of Ailey and some of the more minor characters in the Legend of Maxx video series, and I have some questions for him. First off, what is it like being a part of the Legend of Maxx video series group?
The group. If you mean like the actual videos, it's quite a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy voicing, so when I can get a voice down right, it's pretty successful. I'm very happy with myself. And doing deep, grumpy, gravelly voices is not something I'm very good at, so being able to do what I can is actually quite satisfying. However, I don't know very many people here.
What's it like working with the other cast members?
This is the first time I've met any of them.
Except for me, I think, yeah.
Yep, I have not met any of them. I do everything separate because that's how I think voice acting can be done. maybe at another time I'll join in a group recording when I have more time, when I'm not doing irrigation and killing gophers for money.
When and what got you into doing voice acting?
All the way back in 2008, I think, there's this little forum website based off a Lego line called Bionicle. I did voice acting for a stop-motion animation for that when I was about 12, and ever since then I've wanted to keep doing voice acting because it was a lot of fun. I could get into things, and I could just be a voice and do whatever. And then I found out you can make money off of voice acting, so hey, that's a plus.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think of the character or characters that you play?
Well, considering the majority of the minor characters that I play are normally zombies and skeletons, which normally do not have more than one line and often end up getting killed, just narrows it down to ALE, and it is fun to play ALE. Completely different character than anything I've ever done before, so, yeah.
And what do you think of the Legend of Maxx webcomic series? I'm not sure if you actually have gotten around to reading it, but if you
I have
what do
read
you think
some.
of it?
I've definitely read some, and I do enjoy it. It's quite unique. I have not seen any other webcomics based off of Terraria, so it's definitely neat to see it, because I play Terraria, so I can get a lot of the references. And I'm not an alcoholic.
Alright, I have Skyly Fox, the voice of Remiel the Angel here,
Sup?
and I have some questions. First off, what's it like being part of the Legend of Maxx video series group?
Well, it's pretty fun. It can get a little tedious at times. I'll admit I'm not a perfect person. If aside from me messing up, when I actually do it right, it's a pretty fun thing to be part of.
Second question, what's it like working with the other members of the cast?
Sometimes I want to cry. Sometimes I will laugh so hard I can't not think straight. And I honestly get to meet some pretty fun people, and it's a good thing to do.
And when and what got you into doing voice acting?
Okay, as a person who does normal acting, aside from this, I haven't really done any other voice acting. This is probably my first actual thing for voice acting itself. But other than that, I am a actor doing theater performances and such.
And what do you think of the character or characters that you play?
Remy needs a British accent.
What do you think of the Legend of Maxx webcomic series?
I like it a lot. Unfortunately, I'm pressed for time, so I don't have as much time as I'd like to finish reading the whole series. But what I have read, I do like it a lot, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Hey guys, this is Joe14, and I'm here today with Jesse McMinn, the author of the Legend of Maxx webcomic series.
Hello.
So I have some questions for him that should be very interesting, because I have a feeling you're kind of shrouded in mystery when it comes to the people who listen to the series and read the actual comics. Not everyone knows a whole lot about you, I don't think.
I'm such an enigmatic figure.
Yeah. Like Batman.
I'm basically Batman.
Except you've got a beard.
Yeah, that's true. So that makes me manlier than Batman, really.
Nobody can be manlier than Batman. Okay, first question. What got you into Terraria?
I first heard about Terraria on the Extra Credits web series. I don't know if you've heard about that or watched that, but it's a web series about video games and the issues surrounding video games. And every once in a while, they have an episode where they recommend different games. And they recommended Terraria. And there came a time where I had some money to spend and some time to spend. And it came down between Minecraft and Terraria. And on a whim, I chose Terraria.
Really?
So yeah, if I hadn't done that, The Legend of Maxx could have been a Minecraft comic.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, I don't think
I can't believe you actually picked Terraria, because here's the thing. I had a similar experience, however, I found out about Minecraft a little bit before I actually originally pirated Minecraft. Nobody heard that, but I ended up buying it eventually because I felt bad about that.
Well, that's okay.
So, yeah, and then probably about 6 months later I found out about Terraria, and I was already... This isn't my interview, is it?
That's fine.
Okay, I'm actually going to answer have you answer your questions first. I can't believe I just did that. What's it like writing the Legend of Maxx webcomic series?
It's a roller coaster. It's really interesting. Overall, I definitely enjoy it. Like, it's a fun creative challenge, and even though it's a lot of work, I don't regret it. It has its ups and downs. There are times where I'm a lot happier to do it than I am at other times. It's crazy, and the time commitment of the comic has kind of shot up recently, in that the days that I do a comic, it's almost like a full-time job. So in a way, like, I made the first few comics on a whim and posted them on a forum on T Online. And since then, it's just grown into this massive beast that I kind of don't even recognize in some ways anymore. But it's been kind of fun to see how it's grown and changed and how the fan base has grown. It's kind of crazy. I never expected it to get as big as it has.
And an example of him not quite so much enjoying it will be shown right after we're done with this interview with Comic 121. So
yes,
stay tuned
the excuse comic number 1.
Uh-huh. And question number 3. What do you think of the voice actors and the characters that they play? We're going to turn the tables on you. Instead of having us answer the questions, kind of with you listening in the background, what do you think of us?
Instead of me silently judging you, it'll be you silently judging me.
Exactly.
No, I think you guys are doing great work. It's really cool because you first approached me with the idea of making a video series, like a fully animated video series, and I kind of wasn't sure if it was going to happen because as someone who's tried some animation before, I was like, I don't know if that's going to work out. You know, it takes long enough to make static comics if you're going to animate the whole thing. And then you scaled it back into a voice project, and I think it's worked out great. Like, you're coming out with episodes like really consistently, and they're nice and long and full of content, and you're doing some good work, and you know the voices are good and getting better, and I'm excited to see how you handle certain comic moments. I don't think I've made it too easy for you in some cases.
It is difficult sometimes. And I will actually talk about that more, I think, a little bit in my own interview. And lastly, do you have any sneak peeks or previews of what's to come in the future? Keep in mind, when people are going to be listening to this, we're going to be around Comic 400. So anything around that time period that you could kind of hint at, is June coming back? Is Ina gonna die, or is she gonna come back?
Well, okay. Okay, I will reveal exclusively comic number 399.5 will be a Maple and Poe strip. I plan on making that a tradition. They're gonna show up every 100 comics. As for the rest, I don't know. I think you're just going to have to wait and see. I do, because I think a lot of people might believe, especially after the current arc that just concluded, that I have no plan and that I'm just trolling you guys, spinning this tale that has no purpose. And would they be
wrong?
They would be wrong, yes. I do everything. It's all part of my plan. It's there is... Okay, that's not true. It's not. But... There is definitely an overall thread that I don't plan on leaving many things dangling. And like a good example of that is the Cyril and Ina arc, because when I first came up with that idea, it was literally going to have no purpose. It was just going to be a long arc that concluded with crushing Cyril's soul a little bit more, and then the characters would just move on with their lives. But then after I got into it and the fans started to get really invested, and I started to get really invested in it, I decided that it wouldn't work to just cut it off and throw all that away. So you haven't seen the last of Ina, I'll say that much.
Ooh, that all sounds ominous.
Well, I feel like
haven't seen the last of me. I will kill you, Cyril.
She's gonna be the villain.
What?
She's the Naiad or just a red herring.
What? Oh, that's terrifying.
That is not the case.
Okay,
but yeah, I feel like after Cyril died the first time and Remy showed up and then left, I think a lot of people kind of forgot about him and thought that he was just a throwaway character. and that's not true either. So
That makes me interested because I will actually wait like literally 30 seconds and actually talk about this. So, with that, thank you, Jesse, for answering those questions and giving us some insight into the life of the creator of the Legend of Maxx webcomic series.
So, I am the assistant director of Legend of Maxx, Takeshi Dude, and I'm here with some questions for the mastermind behind this whole audio series, Joe 14.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, hi. Okay, so first, what got you into Terraria?
Well, I found out about the game about 6 months after I found out about Minecraft, and I started watching some videos. I believe they were either Yogscast or maybe Captain Sparkles on YouTube. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's like 2D Minecraft. And that is literally what I said. And that sounds so two-dimensional. That statement's two-dimensional. The game's that's two-dimensionalception. But I started looking at the game. I actually originally thought it was made by Mojang.
Oh, really?
Mojang Tiles. Mojang. I thought they had made Terraria, and then I found out, oh hey, it's actually not Terraria. And then I started kind of hating it and ranting on it because it was basically what I thought was a ripoff. And then finally I got around to actually buying the game myself, and I played it, and I fell in love with it way more than I did Minecraft. It wasn't like Minecraft. With Minecraft, it's like literally the same thing over and over and over. But with Terraria, it's always introducing new content. Even when you've already played the game, it's really fun to do it again. With Minecraft,
yeah.
I feel like the first time you find diamonds, it just isn't the same anymore after that. But with Terraria, it's constantly striving for new content. So yeah.
What's it like being a part of the Legend of Maxx video series?
Oh, I feel like I'm going to be the only one answering this honestly. It is a ton of work. Being the director, editor, and producer of the series makes my life very difficult and very busy. This last week I got to experience editing and releasing the entirety of the third episode all in one night, and my day was just gone. It was gone. It was non-existent. My Sunday didn't even exist that day. My weekend was just completely gone because we had to get a few of the fairies lines very last minute because I could not find anybody to voice them. Like
that
I
was
said.
rushed.
No, but it was more than rushed. It was like I wasn't even sure if we were going to end up getting the episode out. But thankfully we did get it out. And, yeah. Oh, one more thing.
What's it like working with other members of the cast?
One more thing I want to say about the second question. The worst part of editing is the text boxes. If we change is to as, it takes me 10 minutes to fix that.
Seriously?
It takes me something like that. And on an average, I end up probably editing about 20 of the text boxes out of 80 per comic.
Gosh.
Can't even imagine what it's going to be like when some of the comics end up getting longer later on. Rather than having the standard four rectangles inside the larger rectangle styled comic,
they're panels.
Yeah, they have in the future comics there are some where there's like 10, and some of them are like thinner, but they still for the most part all have lines still in them. So I can't even imagine what that's going to be like. Hopefully it will not be as difficult as it may seem. And do you want to restate the third question?
All right. Yeah. What's it like working with the other members of the cast?
Again, I feel like I'm going to be the only one honest with this. I enjoy it a lot. It is so much fun recording with other people. We have so much fun. It's not just a matter of getting our lines done. We actually like sit there when we make mistakes. We all laugh together, and it's quite funny. Sometimes we'll actually get completely off topic and start talking about the most ridiculous things, not even related to the comic series. At other times, it can be difficult. Some other members of the group, I am not going to name them, but it is sometimes difficult to get people's schedules to work out, and yeah.
That happens when you have a lot of people.
I know.
When and what got you into doing voice acting?
So about I want to say 6 years ago, sometime around the age of like 11, I started listening to a series called Hank the Cowdog. It is a book series written by John R. Erickson. It is a comedy series, and the cool thing about it is he not only has the books, but he actually releases these audio tapes in which he plays every single one of the characters and voices every single one of the characters for the book. And I thought it was just so cool. I didn't even realize until a little bit after I started listening to it that he is actually voicing all the characters, both male and female, and he actually makes it sound like he's voicing all of them. He does a fantastic job of doing that. And I just thought it'd be really cool to do that myself. And so I started writing my own books. I had this comedy series that you can actually find. I will link it in this video, called Jake. It is a comedy comic series of a bunch of episodes of an idiot who lives on Earth who ends up getting abducted by aliens by mistake and flies around the universe and somehow, through his idiocy, manages to survive even though in most situations things look pretty grim for him. And I voice all of the characters as well. And after I started reading the Legend of Maxx webcomic series, this is also kind of an answer to question 6. What do you think of the Legend of Maxx webcomic series? I started reading this and I just thought it would be so cool to actually like turn this into a video series. And so I decided to gather together some people and see if I could actually get it to work, and here we are.
It's come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think of the character you play?
Verboseness. It is sometimes the most ridiculous. I have sometimes the most hardest time getting through the lines that he has. There is one in particular that I remember actually changing on purpose because I could not get this to work. And Jesse, I'm not sure if you intended it to be this way when you were writing this, but there was an episode, I think it was like Comic 65. It's right when they go down into the caves, and Max yells out, "This place is amazing, perfect for exploring or adventuring," or whatever he says. And Cyril says, "This'll be fine so long as this is as adventurous as the adventure gets." And oh my gosh, trying to say that in a tone that's kind of like monotone is impossible. I actually had to like sound out, "This is
we tried that like 12 times.
I kept saying, "This is adventurous," as the adventure gets, and I could not get it. So I ended up changing it to "so long as this is the most adventurous as the adventure gets," because I could not get that thing to work because there are so many freaking A's and S's in that. I remember there's the line, by the time this episode's out, you guys will have probably heard the episode in which Hannah and Cyril meet, and there's an entire comic in which Cyril pours out his heart for Hannah, and I really enjoyed doing that. That was fun because I tried to make myself sound Shakespearean while doing it. I think
it was very entertaining.
I think people will enjoy that. So yeah. And I already kind of answered the 6th question. What I do want to say, though, is how I found out about Legend of Maxx. I actually found out about it because of Hamish in the game. You know how Red Digit added Hamish to the game? You know about that, right? Yes. Okay, good. Because I remembered seeing it on the Terraria website. There was like a little thing that said there is the addition of Hamish from this webcomic series, and there was a link and I clicked on it. I was like, oh hey, webcomic series about Legend of Maxx, or about Terraria, which it would be Legend of Maxx. And I started reading it and I just could not stop reading. I ended up reading the entirety of comics 1 through like 280, I want to say, in like one day because I just could not stop reading it. And I think that is pretty much all I have to say. And with that,
And that wraps up the questions.
Hey guys, I'm really sorry to do this to you again so soon, but I just got in from a rather taxing flight, am extremely tired, and really not in the mood to draw what happens when Max and Guidey meet a giant demonic eyeball. So instead, I'll leave you with this short PSA directed at commercial airline pilots. I'm not saying that the actual flight was bad or anything, the biscuits were actually quite good, but just a heads up, it is never a good idea to have your cabin announcement begin with, "Hi everyone, I will be your pilot for today, and quite honestly we expect a pretty darn rough flight ahead of us."
and with that, thank you all for listening. I am Joe14, and I was here with...
Your favorite Takeshi dude. I'll see you around.
And Jesse. Just Jesse.
Yes, just Jesse. And
Pirate Jenna.
And make sure to keep watching for the Legend of Maxx video series episode 6 coming June 9th. Thanks again, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.